right, welcome to the Dales Report, and I'm happy to be joined here this morning with Kathryn Walker from Revitalist. How are things?
Going great. Happy to be here.
I know. Anthony obviously is joining me as well. Obviously a millennial entrepreneur and a contributor with us here at the Dales Report. But here we are at Wonderland. How's the week going so far?
It's an exciting week. It's groundbreaking for sure. I think we all could say that.
Yeah.
Definitely the first of its kind in the sector, and look forward to many more.
Yeah. What's the big takeaway so far? Of who have you met with? And I know some of the viewers that are watching this probably want to learn more, as we've had a couple interviews so far. But what's been your takeaway in the conference so far?
Lots of diversity, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of investors, a lot of public companies here. A lot of really heavy hitters in space. And then but then there's also your general population, right?
Yeah.
That they're just ready. So there's a big
Shamans.
revolution ready to happen. It's
nice.
Exciting.
Nice to see this face to face, right?
I know that too. That's true.
Well, a lot of viewers are probably understanding who is Revitalist. I know we've had some conversations before in the past. One of the few companies currently in the industry right now that's already generating revenue, a very aggressive clinical rollout plan over the next 2 years. So who's the people that you're meeting with this week, and what are some of the conversations that they like, why they're meeting with you?
Drug development, meeting with a lot of those individuals. So kind of the way we set up the clinics is that we can have the professionals that are there that can really take anything that comes to the surface. Once we can start getting FDA approval, clinical trials and such, a lot of drug developers that we've had meetings with, biotech companies, and again, bankers, investors. We're creating the infrastructure for a whole new system.
Yeah.
Right?
I know you have a big background in the healthcare system in the U.S. What do you think this industry is doing right? I like to ask this to a lot of companies that I'm interviewing today, what we're doing right and what we have to improve on.
I think the open-mindedness is the right way.
Yeah.
I think the improvement aspects is recognizing that as this is so new, we're going to have to shift a little bit to the traditional system, because the traditional system's not going to go away. We've just got to have to learn how to upgrade it.
Yeah. It's interesting to see how it's going to expand over the next couple of years, right?
Very interesting.
Yeah. Did you want to ask something?
It's an interesting perspective. I've never thought about that, changing the actual system. I guess, how does it feel to be one of the only female CEOs in the space? It's what I found most attractive about Revitalist when we invested, and you've shined ever since.
Oh, that's kind. Not only female CEO, but then also having the medical background, right?
Yeah.
So the 20 years in the medical space, being in ICU,
Yeah.
knowing a lot of people with this company. So we have our own insurance team. A lot of people with the company said stay as far away from insurance as you can.
Really?
Because we
Why?
know how hard it is.
Okay.
It's hard.
Okay.
But we see this. Everyone needs access to this.
Yeah.
They need access. It needs to be
So
safe.
you have your own insurance team.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work, and why is that important for people learning about this?
Access, right?
Right.
So like 90% of the drugs right now on the streets are laced with fentanyl and PCP.
Okay.
The last thing we want in our sector, do no harm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're able to increase access, have people come to a safe place, they don't have to worry about who's cutting their drugs on the streets, because it's coming through us. And then if something happens, we're there to help them. So it's pushing very aggressively to make access available to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can't make this a walled garden. It can't be.
No.
Right.
Mental health is higher than ever. It's an addressable need for a lot of people. It needs to be accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Insurance is the only way, because no one's paying out of pocket. For what we're doing.
Well, 600 million people right now with depression worldwide. 1 in every 5 people, I was learning earlier today, that are going to have some sort of depression at some point in their life. SSRIs, I've learned, and I've said this again in a couple other interviews, that they were a good invention in the mid-'80s, but it's 4 years ago now. The world's changed, the world's adapted. And I think a lot of people that are getting into the space, whether it's big pharma or doctors that were associated with the military, they're not necessarily sold on the idea of psychedelics, but they are sold on the idea with the data that's providing and the results it's improving.
Right.
And the reason why they want, to your point, is alternative solutions, correct?
Well, we want to see higher efficacy, right? In the medical field, when we see a 30% response rate to SSRIs, 30% is the same as placebo.
Mm-hmm.
Psychedelics are like 70 to 80%. So we've got to transition, and we'll help with that. We'll help with the transition.
Wow.
So the female aspect, the medical aspect, people with the team are people who know lobbying efforts, regulations. We know all this, and it's what we consider, right? Because you have to. If you take something politically, they can say no on a high level, and then you don't have that argument. We have the people that can argue that.
So who are, as far as, like you said, in the beginning days, stay away from insurance, but yet you started your own insurance company.
And then the people that are with us know all the insurance piece, and now they're back with us saying, okay, let's go. We know how it is. Let's build a new.
Female CEO. What got you into this whole industry? What interests you?
Oh, the rate of helping people initially, but then when I became the female CEO, I did it because it needs to happen.
Yeah.
I didn't want anybody to mess it up.
You think it's only going to grow from here?
Oh, it's gonna, yeah, the sky's the limit, man.
It's great.